Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Monday afternoon session of Step Up to Rise Up. So glad that you're here. Let me know in the comments if you're watching live, or as always, hit hashtag replay or comment hashtag replay if you're watching this later at your convenience. So, this show is dedicated to those of you who are reaching higher, who are called higher, and want to work from your very best self. In case we're meeting for the first time, I'm Linda Nelson, and I'm a belief mindset coach. And I help women with strategies and success tools, and especially coaching, to really dig deep within yourself and find that authentic you that's been covered up by life, if you will. So today, because I had checked my closet and I have no green whatsoever, I'm wearing these crazy lights for you in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, which I believe is on Friday this week. And so I thought we would start or continue our discussion with luck and being lucky and success. And so today I thought that I would share my top 12 tips for creating your own luck. Because as we've discussed during the week, certainly luck has a place in success, but it mostly is about being prepared when opportunities present themselves. And so there are things that we can do to create our luck, if you will. And that's what our topic today is all about. We're going to take a look at 12 tips, my best tips, for how you can create your own luck. So we'll get right to it. All right, 12 ways to create your own luck. Number one, and you've heard me speak of this many times, and it's number one because it's so important, and that is get absolutely clear on what you really want in your life. And I would add, also be clear about who you are and how you want to touch the world. But number one is clarity. We really have to work on being clear about what it is we want. Number two, you have to be willing to take a risk. You've got to be okay with making mistakes and being wrong in this process. We have to start looking at failure as part of success. And failure doesn't mean you failed, it means you're learning. So we have to change our mindset about failure and success and redefine those terms for each of us personally. So number one is clarity. Number two is take a risk. Be willing to be wrong, if you will. Number three, cultivate courage. We have often said that growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. The comfort zone is where you rely on yourself. If we're going to grow and be successful, we have to get out of the comfort zone and take just a few steps into what I call the courageous zone. That's the zone where you need to rely on God and not yourself. And that is the place where growth and success occurs. Number four, surprise yourself and do something wildly unexpected. And it can be something you dreamt about as a child, something that, if you're paying attention, continues to come through. Do something that for you is out of character, and then learn from that experience and what it taught you. But be willing to surprise yourself. Number five, and we've again talked about this many, many times, but if you are to continue to grow, you need to create excellent habits that set you up for success. And we've talked about these in several different episodes. You can go back and look at some of those if you want. We did a recent one on habits, but many people would say that success lies in their morning routine, what you do to start every day off on a very powerful note will dictate a lot of what you're able to do and accomplish in your week. So, number 5, create excellent habits that set you up for success. Number 6, set boundaries. If you're clear on what you really want, you need to get better at saying yes to those activities and no to those things that don't get you what you want. And saying no can be hard. We're used to, I think, wanting to say yes and wanting to please, but we also need to please ourselves. And that requires that, again, with that clarity that we work on, being very clear about who we are and what we want will give us the framework, if you will, to say no to those things that are not in line with that. Number 7, stay focused. Once you have clarity in your mind about what it is you want for your life, then you need to stay focused on those things that are important to you. So don't get distracted by all the noise out there, all the shiny objects that are out there. Stick to your plan and what it is you want. And that can take some discipline, but it is possible. And the more you focus, the more you will create what you want. Number 8, remember this. Intuition rocks. You need to trust your inner voice more and act on those nudges that you get, because that's what they are. They're quick promptings, quick nudges. You will find them in your silence, which is why I'm such a big proponent of journaling and silence, because that's where you can hear that inner voice. So trust your intuition more. Trust it, because those opportunities, those nudges come along, and you need to pay attention to that. So number 8, intuition rocks. Number 9, give a helping hand to others. It is in using our gifts and being free to use them for the benefit of others that we really get clarity about what we're good at. And we have been created to be a blessing to other people. So remember, we've talked about the fact that those gifts aren't given to you to hoard. They are given so that you can be of service to someone else. So be ready for those opportunities that give you a divine appointment, if you will, to be in service to someone else, to help them out. That's number 9. Number 10, admit to yourself, no more excuses. Now is the time for you to do this. Now is the time for you to take steps toward what you want. Because life is fleeting, life is short. We don't know how much time on this earth we have. And we want to make the most of every moment. So being clear, starting way back from the first one, and starting now are 2 very important ingredients in being ready for the opportunities that present themselves to you. Tip number 11 is develop the character and radiate self-respect and approval for yourself. Love yourself always. Give yourself grace and space to really fall in love with the person that you are and the person that you're becoming. That's all part of the process in stepping out of that comfort zone into the courageous zone and learning what you're capable of, and then love yourself along the way. So really develop that discipline, if you will, of really loving yourself and treating yourself with kindness and respect. And then number 12, and again, this is something we've talked about many times, but make plenty of time. Carve it out in your calendar for ideas to percolate through rest, through relaxation and solitude. It's in our quiet moments that those ideas percolate and start taking hold and come to life. That's where our inner voice is. That's where our intuition is. And so carve out time to brain dump, to journal, to sit alone in silence in your car. How many times has it happened? I know this has happened to me, that you're in the shower, say, and some great idea comes, but it's fleeting. You have to kind of like go, whoa, I better write this down because it's fleeting. But that's your inner voice. That's your percolating of ideas. So listen to that and make time for silence, because that's where those ideas get generated. All right. So let me get back where I was, if I can find it again. Okay, here I am back. Hi, Barb. Glad to have you join me today. I hope this has given you some ideas or some tips about, how to create your own luck, because that's really what it's all about. Just as we define success and what it means to us, these 12 tips will help you create your own success and be intentional about it. That's what it's all about, is that intention behind all that. Yes, Barb, make time for silence. Silence is such a great fertile ground for developing what's inside of us. And we often can't hear it or can't discover it because of all the noise that's in our world. There's so many things that are distractors for us. So carve out some of those me time things. I am going to post these 12 things later today, and I want you to think about which one resonated with you the most, or maybe the couple of ones that resonated the most. And I'd like for you to consider or challenge yourself to pick up one or two of these this week and really see what you can do about starting yourself on that path toward creating your own luck. So that's all I have for today. Remember to comment #replay when you're watching this on your free time at your convenience. And if you have some thoughts about some of what I said, I'd love for you to share them. This is a place where I can do some coaching with you, get you thinking about things, and your thoughts, your wisdom that you've gained over the many years you've lived life also can help another person. So this is a good place for you to lend a helping hand on one of those 12 that we talked about today. So have a wonderful week, everyone. Be sure to do something this week to create your own luck. Bye for now. We'll see you next week. Same time, noon Central, Mondays.